Om Shri Ganesha Gurubhyo Namaha. In our material life, we have an ancestral lineage consisting of our great grandparents, our grandparents, our parents, ourselves, and the progeny. In spiritual life, also, there is a succession of teachers and disciples, and that is called the Guru Parampara. The Guru, who is a bona fide spiritual master, is an epitome of the Trinity Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Brahma is supposed to be the creator, Vishnu the sustainer, and Mahesh or Shiva is the destroyer or the annihilator. Now, a bona fide guru knows that in his disciple there is going to be a desire. So what he does is he does not allow that desire to be suppressed or killed at a stroke. He allows it to go through the various stages. So he creates a desire, sees to it that the desire is fulfilled or maintained, and finally slowly the disciple gives away on the desire, gives up on the desire, and that's supposed to be the annihilation of it. So a guru who truly identifies these three things in his disciple is the bona fide guru. When we talk of the Trinity, we know that the first incarnation, which was an epitome or the manifestation of this unified concept, was Lord Dattatreya. Lord Dattatreya was born to very illustrious and virtuous parents, Mother Anasuya and Father Atri Rishi. It is said that the word Dattatreya has been a combination of two words, Datta and Atreya. Datta means donation or gift, and Atreya is Rishi Atreya's name. There is another school of thought which says that it is Datta and Treya. They have split it up in a different way. Here again, Datta means gift or a donation, but Treya is supposed to be the combined trinity. So we combine both these schools of thought and we say Dattatreya is therefore Rishi Atri's donation or gift to the world of the Trinity. The young Dattatreya left at a very early age. He left his home, started roaming around in the world, and the world became his teacher. Wandering through forests, mountains, hillsides, rivers, streams, he also imparted knowledge to so many. He gave them spiritual knowledge in the form of treatises of the Tripura Rahasya and the Avadut Gita. It so happened that once while he was wandering in the forest, a king, King Yadu, happened to see him and was struck by the innocence, childlike innocence on the Lord's face. King Yadu, who is known to be important because he is the person after whom the Yadav dynasty has been named, went forward, paid his obeisance to the Lord and asked him, "Sir, can you tell me what is the secret behind that bliss that you have on your face? I have got riches and wealth, but I don't seem to be having that happiness as what you have, though you're wandering about without anything." It was an Avadut. Avadut means completely in the naked form. So he said, "How is it that you're having this ecstatic state?" Lord Dattatreya blessed him and said, "The reason for my happiness is that I don't own anything, or rather, I have no desire to own anything. I'm a liberated soul completely." He says that in my life, during this wandering, not only have I imparted knowledge, but I have gained knowledge from people also. I don't have one or two, but I have 24 such gurus who have taught me. Now here he also mentions a guru is not one who teaches in the physical human form. He says it's the thing that you learn from things around you. Only thing is you must have an insight for it. So he says my gurus have been in the form of inanimate objects, like you have the earth, sun, moon, fire, sky, sea, in the form of animals and birds like python, serpent, birds like the hawk, pigeon, and also in the form of some human beings. He says like the honey thief. He talks about a young girl, and most importantly about a courtesan who is Pingala. She's a prostitute by profession. Now he says these people have taught me not that I should do this, but they have also taught me what I should not do. So a teacher teaches you what to do and what not to do is a very important point here. He says that all these 24 gurus in some form or the other have imparted something to me. Though in our episode it is not possible to contain all the 24 teachings, we take up just a couple of them. Let's take the earth. Lord Dattatreya says the earth is supposed to be one of my most important gurus because we call her as mother. The reason is she has immense tolerance. So many atrocities we do on her. Now if you just see even modern day times, we have got so many atomic explosions on earth. We have got drilling of oil machines into it. We have, for our sake of development and for roads and railways and metros, don't we go deep into the mother's womb, the earth's womb, and we are drilling machines into her. In spite of that, what is the thing that she gives us? She gives us nourishment in the form of crops. She gives us trees which give us shade. So if you see, we have cut down her forests, but her forests which are still surviving help us. So don't you think the earth is a symbol of tolerance? So he says, Lord Dattatreya says, that from earth I have learned the act of healing others even though they oppress you. Now this can be seen evident in certain historical events also. For instance, if you think, if you have heard about Anne Frank. Anne Frank was subjected to much of torture. In spite of that, at a very young age, when she passes away, before that she writes in her diary that please do not harm or hurt those people who have oppressed me. They have done it because of the influence of some other power on them. Same thing with Nelson Mandela too. So those who oppress you, it is not necessary you retaliate. So tolerance is one of the most important lessons he says that earth teaches us. Second, he goes on to a wasp. A wasp is supposed to be a big insect. And this big insect once trapped a smaller insect. When it trapped a smaller insect, it kept it within its trap for days together. The smaller, weaker insect was constantly thinking about the bigger wasp and was scared of it and in full fear of it. The thought process that the small insect had was so powerful that one day the small insect became a wasp. So the lesson that Lord Dattatreya tells us through this second example is that what you think, you become. So if you think good, you become good. If you think on a destruction basis, that's what you're going to do to life. So here, let's conclude this particular episode by saying let's all think good, harmoniously for the world. Let's stop all these destructive thoughts. These are the lessons which Lord Dattatreya has taught us. There are many more lessons that he has taught us through these 24 gurus. Let's consider one third example, that is in the form of a spider. The spider has created a web, and it spins a web, it makes it so large with its own saliva, with its own secretion. It makes it huge, and one fine day destroys it and brings it all back. That's all, the end of it. In the same way, we also, like a web, we keep on and on, adding on to our material attachments. We create such a huge web of life, and finally we only get trapped into it. We find it difficult to escape from that. So from the spider, he says, learn that if you have spun the web, you should know when to destroy it also. So this is where we all should learn that where in life you should know where to put a full stop. We do not know. We keep moving on and on and on, and we feel that life is supposed to be speed. Many of us misunderstand life to be having gati or speed. But life also needs to slow down, just like on a road which is supposed to be having no speed breaker, there is a sure chance of an accident. So if you see, the road authorities always keep some rumbler strips or speed breakers so that your speed also gets controlled. Same way in life too, let's not rush. Let's have our own slow speed so that we too win the race of life. In this episode of Guru Tattva, this is all I have to contribute to you. I offer my obeisance at the feet of the Lord, at the feet of Lord Dattatreya. Om Shri Ganesha Gurubhyo Namah.